Today we are going to directly compare a few of the starter ships. In the lineup from cheapest to most expensive we have the Aurora MR, the Mustang Alpha, the C8X Pisces, the 100i and the Avenger Titan. I have chosen not to include the Arrow because it's realistically a light fighter, not a starter ship. I have also omitted anything above the Titan because of price. Maybe if I got to owning the Nomad, Hornet and Freelancer, I'll do another video on another tier of starter ships. So without further ado, let's get into it. I will try to keep a consistent scoring system. In each category, there may be subcategories. In each subcategory, I'll award points based on the number of participating ships. Example, in a contest of 5 ships, first place will be awarded 5 points, second will get 4, and so on. The subcategories are then tallied to determine the ranking of the ships in that category. Total score in a category is just to determine the ranking in the category, where they will get their respective points. The tallied points will not carry over. From there, I tally the points for each category to determine the overall rankings. Clear as mud? Brilliant. Let's go. Unlike my other reviews, so we can help make a fair comparison, I'm going to bring up the raw stats. The most compact ship here is clearly the Pisces, but it is far from the lightest with a mass of 48 tons. That award goes to the Aurora MR with a mass of just 28 tons. The heaviest and largest ship here is unsurprisingly the Titan, with a mass of 51 tons, though not by much. A ship with a larger mass will carry much more inertia, meaning more force from the thrusters is needed to achieve the same goal as a lighter ship. A physically larger ship is also a larger target for the enemy to hit. So the Aurora wins this category with the Mustang right behind it, then the Pisces and 100i tied, then lastly the Titan. The fastest ship goes to the Aurora MR with a top speed of 1,212 meters per second, though to be honest, none of these ships are fast. What is surprising though is that the very fighter jet looking 100i has a top speed of just 1,000 meters per second. The others sit pretty close to each other, with the Titan being on the slower end. A faster ship will allow you to traverse planets quicker, as well as having an easier time disengaging from an enemy. The Aurora gets first place, the Mustang second, third goes to the Pisces, then the Titan, and lastly the 100i. The Origin 100i has the highest SEM speed of 210 meters per second, the only ship presented today with an SEM speed greater than 200. The Mustang Alpha is close at 191 meters per second, then the Titan at 189, followed far away by the Aurora at 147, and coming in last is the Pisces with an SEM of 142 meters per second. A higher SEM speed means you'll be able to fly around at faster speeds whilst still getting the best handling out of your ship. Looking at these numbers, I'm going to give top place to the Mustang Alpha, closely followed by the 100i, then the Aurora, then the Avenger Titan, and unfortunately the Pisces comes in last again. Manoeuvrability will help you keep your ship pointed in the direction you want it to be quickly, giving you the power of the main thrusters in that direction sooner. Or you are trying to point your guns onto a target. Manoeuvrability helps with that as well. So first place the Mustang, then 100i, then the Aurora, then the Titan, and lastly the Pisces. I don't have any numbers to go off here, so I've taken each ship down to Daymar and started flying around at 200 meters per second. Alright, let's start off with the worst performer. The RSI Aurora MR is clearly out of its element here. It can't yaw, it can hardly pitch, it has to really try hard. It looks like it's the least drifty of the 5 here, but that's just because it just refuses to turn, so when it does turn, the thrusters can actually keep up, but it's not really how it looks. I'm pulling as hard as I can on the stick, and that's as hard as it's turning. From here on up, they're all actually pretty good. The Pisces is the worst of the best though, just because of what it's designed for. It's for expedition. It's very slow, it's predictable, but just slow, and that's all there is to it. Then I'll probably have to go the Titan. It does handle very well, and as you can see, it's capable of some nice maneuvers in atmosphere, but it's just bigger, and its weight just makes it a bit more driftier, just slides a bit more all over the place. And then you have the 100i. I actually thought this would be the best, but looking at the footage, I think you can see that the Mustang is just a bit more aggressive flying in atmosphere, which is better, I think. It's a bit more twitchy, so the 100i and Mustang basically perform the same. The Mustang's a bit faster, it can just roll a little bit harder, it can just turn a little bit faster, so the winner goes to the Mustang. So, for the final rankings in the flight and handling category, the winner goes to the Mustang with 22 points, then the 100i with 17, followed by the Aurora with 16, then the Titan with 11, and then lastly the Pisces with 10. Of course, that will get boiled down to 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 points for the category respectively. This is arguably the most important part when it comes to picking a starter ship, as box missions are likely going to be your bread and butter. The Titan runs away with first place with 8 SCU of cargo space, doubling that of the runners-up, the Mustang and Pisces, followed by the Aurora MR with 3 SCU and the 100i with 2. So of course the winner is the Titan, then the Mustang/Pisces, then Aurora, then 100i. The Titan also takes this category, with a cargo bay separated by a door which goes into the living quarters then the cockpit. I'm giving the Pisces second place as it is a similar setup on a smaller scale. The 100i comes in next with a spacious, luxurious interior behind the cockpit. The Aurora comes in next with its cramped space sandwiched between the doors, and the Mustang comes in last, as it doesn't really have an interior space, but rather a shipping container which can be entered. None of these ships provide any multi-crew functionality. However, the Pisces provides 2 additional seats to carry friends. The 100i, Titan and Aurora provide a bed for 1 passenger to sit, and the Mustang leaves your friends with the option of becoming a steel ball in a rattle can. So of course the Pisces wins, followed by a 3-way tie, the 100i, Titan and Aurora, and then lastly the Mustang. Basically, the Mustang and Pisces lose a point here for not providing a bed for you to log out in. Unsurprisingly, the Titan is the winner of this category with a score of 14 points. The Pisces comes in close behind with 12 points. Then, with a bit of a gap, the 100i and Aurora tie for 8 points. And trailing behind, the Mustang has a measly score of 5 points. A daring new pilot might be interested in popping their bounty hunting cherry. And although a beginner's skill might not be able to keep up, these starter ships can take you all the way through to VHRT bounties. The Titan comes out on top with 2 size 3 wing mounts and 1 size 4 nose mount, giving a full repeater burst DPS of 1640. In second place is the Mustang Alpha with 2 size 2 mounts on the nose and 2 size 1 wing mounts, the Mustang lays down a repeater setup burst DPS of 1472. Then the Aurora and Pisces both have 4 size 1 mounts, laying down a burst DPS of 1344, but the Aurora will come out on top with a slightly higher sustained DPS figure of 551 compared to the Pisces 526. The 100i with its 2 size 3 mounts comes in last, only able to put out a burst DPS of 1000. We will make a combined manoeuvrability score based on the flight and handling category. With that, it comes out with the Mustang on top, then the 100i, then the Titan, then the Aurora, then lastly the Pisces. The total scores for the combat category are Mustang in first place with 9 points, followed by the Titan with 8 points, then 100i and Aurora tie for third with 5 points, and then lastly the Pisces with 3 points. The 100i clearly comes out on top for me. From the inside and out, it looks small, sleek, well built and perfect. The Titan is coming in second place. Contrary to a lot of people's opinion, I actually think the Space Penguin looks quite good. Third place will go to the Pisces. Its boxy and purposeful looks brings on a level of charm that sits right with me. Fourth place will be a tie between the Aurora and the Mustang. The Aurora has no attempt of aerodynamics and the Mustang tried too hard. I don't really like how either of these look. Now let's tally up the scores and see which ship comes out on top. Obviously, I'll have a ranking that doesn't include style points as well, as that is purely subjective. I'll also do a ranking ignoring price, as sometimes there might be a sale on. So, for raw performance, the Titan comes out on top with 11 points, followed by a tie between the 100i and Mustang at 10 points. Then thirdly, the Aurora at 9 points, then last, the Pisces with 6 points. Now for style included, the 100i and Titan comes out on top for 15 points, then second is the Mustang with 12 points, and third is the Aurora with 11, then last is the Pisces with 9. With style and price, the Mustang and 100i tie with 17 points, then the Aurora and Titan tie with 16 points, then lastly the Pisces with just 12 points. Now, taking away style, but adding price, the Mustang comes out on top again with 15 points, then secondly the Aurora with 14 points, then the Titan and 100i tie for third place with 12 points, then lastly the Pisces with just 9 points. So in conclusion, they're all pretty good ships except the Pisces apparently, but in my review you would know that I still like the Pisces anyway. Hey guys, if you're liking these videos, feel free to like the video or subscribe to me, and if you want me to have a look at a specific ship or content, let me know in the comments below.